Hello, this is Amanda Whiting from Roland, and we are here with Gary Willis, acclaimed bassist from the group Tribal Tech, among many others. Tell us a little bit about your beginnings and how you picked up the bass.
I came from a musical family. My parents needed a bass player. So at 13, they bought me a bass, and I played a little with their music, which was kind of gospel, a little country, and I'm from East Texas. So, so I played that for a year, then I got a guitar, and I learned guitar and bass for a while, about 7 or 8 years. I think my third year in college, I had to pay back a loan to stay in school. So I had a Les Paul and a Precision, so I had a feeling that my instincts were with bass, all the bands I played in. So I sold the Les Paul and became a bass player at that point. So, but I always kind of heard music from the bottom up. I kind of learned how music worked from watching my father's left hand, which is what's driving the music. So it was natural for me.
What were some of your influences growing up? Well,
what it was is I think I was always drawn to instrumental versions or instrumental parts of music that I could find. Every Allman Brothers, Dewey Brothers, War, these bands had instrumental parts of their albums, and to me that was more abstract. And I was just drawn to that abstract nature of it. Eventually that led me to the jazz section of record bins. And so I kept just searching out for this abstract quality of music. There is a static nature of pop music or music that's not improvisational, that doesn't appeal to me as much, So the abstract nature of jazz, of fusion, mixing, all these styles and elements always appealed to me. You know how it is when you hear a song, you really like a song, and you don't understand the words. As soon as, what happens a lot is once you understand the words, you can only interpret it that way, And so, to me, that's the power of instrumental music, is that you're not confined to an interpretation. You can identify with it if you use your imagination in whatever way that you want to.
And it probably can change over time a lot more.
Right. As you grow, you come back to music you listened to before. As you change as a person, your interpretation of it can change.
Is that kind of how you got involved with Tribal Tech, or tell us a little bit about that, how that started?
I think maybe this first or second year I was in LA, I met Scott through a common friend of ours. And we started out just playing his music. That was an opportunity for me to start writing. And so we ended up hearing music the same way. We would want to make the same adjustments. We agreed on kind of the direction. Although we both independently wrote the music for the band, it always worked together. It always complemented, and I think we had like a 16-year run there for a while. It worked. Eventually, after those 16 years, my moving to Europe and the record company business made us have a break of about 10 years. But I'm here now in LA, and we're going to start tracking a new CD with Tribal Tech this week. So. That's
amazing. How has that reunification experience been for you guys so far?
I don't know. We're going to start tomorrow. No, it's going to be great. I mean, we've kept in contact. Various members of the group have played with other various members. So we've continued to grow musically, just maybe more separately. So now we're going to put our forces together and see what kind of havoc we can create. This is the only octaver that doesn't glitch no matter how low you go.
How has, do you think your bass playing kind of evolved from when you first started to where you are now? because you've been with other groups as well, Wayne Shorter, Dennis Chambers, and Allan Holdsworth. How has that experience with Tribal Tech, influenced your work with them?
Scott and I developed this ability to be pretty cold-blooded about what didn't work. We didn't have to really protect each other's feelings. We were very dedicated to the music. So we were able to be pretty efficient with the process of developing songs and developing ways to play them. Whereas other experiences where I've been in, you have to develop a few more social skills, when you comment on the direction of the music, So that was kind of an eye-opening thing when I would go to other musical situations and I couldn't really say exactly what I felt about what should happen musically, And so I think that was one feature that we had as Tribal Tech, is that we were pretty cutthroat about, okay, this sucks, this doesn't work, let's do this, let's remedy it this way, So.
Is there any other people in your scene that you want to work with that you haven't yet?
I've always had favorite players, and I've been real lucky to play with the people I played with. But I don't really hold out a person or an experience to say, okay, this is my goal. If it comes, great. And I've been lucky that a lot of people that I really admire, I've been able to play with. But I don't hold that as a measure of what I should be doing or not. It's a quirky sound, but it shows the sensitivity of the V-bass system.
What other things are you working on currently? I know Tribal Tech's getting together. Have you been doing a lot of side projects also? Or working on...
I wouldn't call it a side project. It's my main thing is this band called Triphasic. It's a trio that I have with a couple musicians from Barcelona. Mm. And I have been incorporating video with the improvisation that we do on stage. So it's been a big learning experience for me, incorporating the sequences and the synchronization of the video with this weird, funky, electric improvisation that we do. But I think I've always felt that, the music and the playing on stage is important, but it's three guys standing there, and I'm tied to the pedals. I can't run around and jump and do dance moves, and you're playing on stages, you kind of need to take this, take over the stage. So adding this big projection video element to the show has been a big challenge, but I think the results are a lot of fun.
That's amazing. So is that, have you just started that?
It's been the last 2.5 years,
Mm-hmm. And what's some of the instruments and ways you use to incorporate, your bass playing and music with the stage performance?
Well, a lot of times the bass playing is the last thing I'm worried about, because I'm coordinating the scenes and the music that if we're playing a solo and improvising, we have to jump to the next section. So I'm in charge of, okay, when do we do that? How is that mixed on the stage, and taking cues from everybody. So there's a lot going on as I've got this command central that on stage that I'm using to make sure all that stuff happens. So the bass playing, once I get comfortable with the switching and the mixing and the stuff that I'm doing, then the bass playing is finally fun, but that's kind of secondary in my mind to how the performance goes. This is a mix of the gear effect, which mutes the attack and swells a note in, mixed with really long reverb.